Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it is time for YouTube number 160. Now you can see I've got my sweatshirt on, and that is because they are installing the air conditioners. Actually, they're testing them out right now. So sometimes it will be absolutely freezing, like we almost have icicles, and then something's not working right, the ducting is whatever they have to fix, and then we get back up to 80 degrees again, or not. Well, actually it was 100 and over, almost 100 in here the other day in the warehouse. So I've got my sweatshirt on because I don't know if it's gonna get shivery or not. But for now it's actually comfortable in here, which is the first time it's been comfortable in a very long time. I'm very excited to have the air conditioning almost done. It should be done today. Should be finished. Everything should be good with the warehouse. The air conditioning was affected in the warehouse, not the store. So, and the warehouse is on the second floor, and it has nothing but a wall of windows, and so the heat would come in. It was awful, but we're getting there, and I'm so amazingly happy and grateful and thankful. Now, I'm going to tell you, today's YouTube is definitely a whopper. This is the next release of Simply Defined. It is called Bloom, and I really tried to pack a punch with this release. I didn't know when I was designing it that everybody else was designing something similar, so it is what it is. But I do think we have taken it a step or two further than anybody else, at a price that nobody else has them for. So I'm really excited to bring them to you. Just know, this is definitely a whopper of a YouTube. So if you need to go make yourself a cup of coffee or a tea or a sweet tea or take a potty break, yes, because I have a lot to show you. It's going to be all technique, not so much, you're not gonna, the colors I'm gonna be using probably won't make sense, but I really wanna show you how to use the product. And yes, there is a new contour edge set in this release. Now, for those of you who knew what happened with our last contour edge set, it sold out in under a day. So if you like it, if you love it, if you love any of these dies, please, they will not be brought back. They are a one and done. So they are limited, but hopefully we brought in enough this time to last us a little bit longer. Now, the shop that did not hop in the Sizzix warehouse sale is coming up in just a few more weeks. July 15th is opening day, online and in store. I will have a YouTube explaining the do's and the don'ts of the shop that did not hop in the Sizzix warehouse sale, just like I did last year. It's pretty much going to run exactly the same way. And once I have that YouTube done, I will start posting it on our homepage of our website and in my emails, just so you know that it's a wonderful sale. But it really is. It ships when it ships. It's not, it ships when you were hoping it would ship, or it ships when you expected it to ship, but it ships when it ships. And that's just if we didn't do it that way, we couldn't offer it online. And we, for years, didn't offer the sale online. It was only to in-store peeps. But so many of you said, but we're willing to wait. So I said, okay, we'll do it. So anyway, there'll be a YouTube about the do's and the don'ts and cancellation policies and shipping charges and all sorts of stuff as we get a little bit closer. But it is the most wonderful event. And if you can come spend the day with us here at the store, we'll be the Phantom of the Opera, and the chandeliers have arrived, and my shoes have arrived, and the free gifts are arriving, and everybody gets a free gift. Even if you shop online, you're going to get some wonderful things from Scrapbooking Made Simple. Honestly, you are. Now, we have our we have our chicken dinner contest going on right now, and if you want information about that, you're going to go back to YouTube number 159 and listen about it. It is a wonderful contest where we're going to be giving away prizes, gift cards for the shop that did not hop in the Sizzix warehouse sale. And all you have to do is submit an entry using either a Simply Defined or a Sizzix die, and one entry per person. It's going to be posted on Pinterest. It's not a popularity contest. It will randomly pick winners from everybody who has submitted, and it can be anything from a card to a quilt to a toll painting where somehow you incorporated a Sizzix dye or a Simply Defined dye, and you send those submissions to chicken dinner at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. But for all the rules, go back to YouTube number 159 and it will go over it for you. We have winner chicken dinner from YouTube number 159, and I've got those names right here in front of me. If you want to be a winner chicken dinner and hear your name, just post a comment on this YouTube after you've watched it. Please keep it kind. Remember, nice. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. It's free. And once I approve your comment, and I do have to approve them because some of them need to not be visible for everybody. Once I approve them, then you go into the running to be a winner chicken dinner, and maybe you'll hear me announce your name next time. Now I have the two winners here, and they are going to win Memento ink and Do Craft stamps. Oh my gosh, those Do Craft stamps for that price was phenomenal. Oh my gosh. So if you are Judy Freilich, you are a winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. Wahoo kachoo for you. I think you're really gonna like what you're gonna get. And if you are Renee Collier, congratulations Renee, you too are a winner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and I can't wait for you guys to get your prizes. Again, those Do Craft stamps for the $8 that they were. They're $10 regularly, which was a phenomenal price to begin with, but then at $8 it was even a better price. Now this is Saturday with Stacey, so you are watching it Saturday morning. Downstairs, not only do we have our free 3-day crop going on, so we've got 36 girls doing that, we are also doing our free in-store make and take, and I'm going to show you that when we tilt on down, because that's going to give you an idea of what we're doing today. Again, this is a very technique-driven YouTube, so I hope that you can follow my vision. Sometimes I worry that I'm too outside the box, but when I design something from a feeling, or I design something because I want it and I can't find it anywhere else. So that's where this one came from. I wanted something and I couldn't find it. I found close, but it just wasn't right. So I did what I thought would give everybody so much value and so much opportunity to create, and that became Bloom. So, Simply Defined, new release, winner chicken dinner. Renee and Judy, how are you going to claim your prize? I can almost hear you saying it. Email us at winner, WINNER, at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Give us your name, address, telephone number in the subject line. You are going to say, I am a winner from YouTube number 159, and we will get your prizes out to you just as quickly as possible. All right, you guys, I'm going to put that off to the side. Remember that our chicken dinner contest is going on, and 5 of you are going to win great little gift cards to go shopping during the Shop That Didn't Hop and the Sizzix Warehouse sale that start July 15th and go through July 31st. All right, I think I'm going to tilt on down and we're going to get started for today. And it's good to see everybody. All right, down we go. I am so nervous about this release. Really, I am. I just don't know if I went a little too overboard, but can you really go overboard? No, probably not. All right. So this is the make and take that everybody's doing downstairs. As you can see, it's got the rose and the leaf, it's got the sentiment, and it has one of the contour dies. That is one of the make and takes. Now, I wonder if I should go up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we also, so everybody downstairs has a choice of what color they want to do it in. We actually did it in 6 colors for them. There's the red, there's the pink, and here is the blue. And again, see that rose? Now it may look familiar to you because there are several companies on the market right now doing a very similar technique. And again, when I started designing this, I designed so far in advance that I didn't know it was going to become so popular. So I'm going to start with what seems to be out there and prevalent on the market. in this type of a layering stamp die cut. But then I'm going to show you how we took ours and went just a little bit further than the norm. And I'm going to start with, I'm going to be playing right now with our leaves set. So the leaves come in their own set, and of course it's a simply defined release, so there are 6 different die-in stamp sets. You always, if it has a stamp, you always get them together. You never have to buy the stamp separate from the die. If you love this set and you want it, it's only $13.99, and that, yes, is for the stamps and the dies. If you buy the I Want It All collection, it brings each set down to $10. And we sell all 6 sets for $59.99 as opposed to them being $13.99. So I'm gonna open it up and pull it out. And I'm gonna show you we have dies and we have stamps. Now, the stamps and the die is what's usually seen right now. And that's what I'm gonna start with. I wanna start with what is typically out there. So I'm gonna move and I'm gonna start with, I think I'm going to do this one. So I've got 1, and I need this one, 2, and I need this one. So I've got the 3. Now on the back of our sets are all the directions or at least pictures on what goes with what. So 1, 2, 3 makes that. 1, 2, 3 makes that. This set here, 1, 2, 3 makes this leaf here. 1, 2, 3 makes that leaf there, but why would it be listed twice? I'm going to show you why it's twice. So in this set, you're going to get 3 different types of leaves. You're going to get the really cute, small little sprout leaf. You're going to get the larger leaf and then the middle-sized leaf. So yes, you're going to get all of those dies and all the coordinating stamps to be able to do all of that in one package. I'm going to move these aside for right now, and I am going to start with stamping. So I have got my block over here, and I'm just going to line up my stamps. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to grab my gush pad, my stamp mat. I'm going to put I've just got plain white cardstock. This happens to be 80 pound, and it's simply defined cardstock. So our 80 pound 25 sheet sells for $5.99. And typically what people are doing out there is they're starting with the lightest color on their background stamp, a medium color, and then a dark color to finish it out. So let me show you what it is that I am talking about. And I'm going to use 3 totally different colors, or very different colors, so that it looks, you can see the difference between them. Not that I would use these colors every day, but I want to give you an idea of what of the difference between when you stamp. So I'm going to give a nice press. I'm not doing chest compressions. I'm stamping into my gush pad. And why we use a stamp mat is because when you press down, if you're stamping on a hard surface, you don't get as good of contact between the paper and the stamp. Using a stamp pad, using a gush pad, which is what I call it, because it gushes, lets me press that stamp down. It sinks in just a little bit and makes really good contact. So I've used a light color here. I'm going to use a little bit of a darker color on my second stamp. And again, it's possible you've already seen something like this, but we're going to take it a little bit further. Now I'm just going to line it up right over the top of my first stamp. And I'm going to give a push, and I'm going to pull up. So you can see the layering starting to happen. See the layering starting to happen. And again, these may not be the colors you would use, but I want to use colors that will give you a difference that you can see in the camera. And then I'm going to do my last stamp. Now I always line my stamps up I just get a larger block and I put, if it takes 3 stamps to do it, I put all 3 stamps on the same block in the direction that they need to go. So I just go bing, bang, boom. All right, and then last, again, I'm just gonna line it up. Oh, I hear a palette coming. And stamp. So now I've got, although that's not such a bad looking leaf, I've got my image with the light on the background, the darker color, the medium color adds detail, and then the darkest color I did in a dark brown to add the final detail. And that is layering, oh, look at, I got my stamped images over there. That's layering all 3 stamps to make a complete image where you get definition via the different layers that you're using. Really easy to do, and it is out there on the market without any question. So then I have got to go with it, I've got the die that goes with it. And that die is just going to line right up to it and cut it out. And again, not the first time, we're not the first person on the market with this. I'm gonna bring my Big Shot machine over. I'm going to use my magnetic platform. If you have a multi-purpose platform, you can absolutely use that. Keep your tabs totally closed. Totally closed. You don't want any of those tabs open if you are using a multi-purpose platform. The nice thing about the magnetic platform is that because we're using a stamped image and I don't want that die to float around anywhere, that's what happens when you're on a magnetic platform. I'm gonna line it up. And then put my do not cut plate over the top and send it through. And just like that, easy peasy. I have cut my leaf out. And again, we're not the first to do this. We're not. I'm very upfront and upright with that. But the next step that I'm going to show you, the next few steps I'm going to show you, I think we just might be the first to do this. Now, if you didn't want to die cut that image, well, that you didn't have to. I could have just stamped. Let's use the brown again. Just because you have the dies doesn't mean you have to use them. Let's use the light brown and stamp my image. Let's use the orange on this one because we're making a fall leaf. On my second stamp, line it up and give a nice press. Again, we're not doing chest compressions. That's not going to help you. And then last, let's use that really deep brown so that you can see the contrast between all of them. Line it up. And we're good. So I can just use the stamps just as stamps. I certainly don't have to die cut it if I don't want to. We did give you the die. But then did you notice we didn't just give you the outline dies for the 3 sets that we have that come in this, the 3 different leaves that come in this set. We gave you the detail dies too. Let me show you how those work. Now, I could take and let's say all I wanted to do was die cut that leaf out and I still wanted a way for it to kind of look very dimensional. This is one of the places where I think we have taken this concept to a whole nother level. I'm gonna pull this one And I'm gonna pull this one because these are the 3 dies that will give me my leaf, will make up my leaf. And see, remember when I told you that there's this one, this one, this one will make this, but so will this one, and this one? Well, these are the stamps, these are the dies. You can make the same leaf, just stamping the image, or if you want to add more dimension, you can die cut the images as well. We don't just give you the background. No way. Okay, so I've got a couple pieces of green paper in front of me, and I am going to take my Stacey tape and put it on the back. So there's one, and we'll just trim that down. What is Stacey tape? It is a double-sided adhesive that it allows you to tear it, because I was saying it's terrible. Well, meaning terrible, not bad. And it is stronger than a red line tape. It is stronger than a Sukwang tape or a Scorpal tape. It is a little bit longer in length, and it is a little bit less money than the other brands. And when we started doing our own brand of product, I wasn't thinking about doing tape, but like I've said before, when the manufacturer comes to you and says, what if I can give you something a little bit longer, a little bit stronger for a little bit less money, you really don't say no to that. You really have to kind of give that some good thought, because that means it's more affordable to more people, and that's really what we're trying to do here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, is keep crafting affordable, which is why I think those of you who have gone out and looked at sets like this, even at the $13.99, you know what a value it is. Because a lot of the sets out there that don't do nearly as much as this are twice as much, because you're buying the die and the stamp separate. So I have got, I'm gonna cut this down because I'm gonna cut all 3 of them at the same time. I've got a dark green, I have got a lighter green, and I have got a medium green. Now with this, it doesn't really matter what order you go in. I could have my leaf dark on the bottom, medium, and then light. I could have it light on the bottom and then medium and then dark. The reason with a stamped image, the reason why you start with the lightest color first is because if I started with a dark brown and then put a light orange over the top of it to add that detail, that orange is going to absorb into the dark brown color and you're never going to see it. It's just never going to happen. So because we're using ink and ink absorbs into the paper, we need to start with a light color as your first and then progressively get darker. Again, if we were to start with just a brown, and that was the back of my leaf, and now I want to put orange over the top of it, well, that orange is going to absorb into that brown. You're never going to see it. So you always have to start with a lighter color, so a light brown, and then I can put my orange over the top and you'll be able to see my orange, and then I can put my brown over my orange, and you can see that. If you've never really understood why you need to start with your lightest color, it's because you're building color. So start with your lightest and then grow darker. If you start with your darkest and then want to add lighter color on top, you can't do that if you're stamping. But we're not stamping. Actually, I really kind of like my colors. I'm pretty proud of my colors, woohoo! But we're not stamping, we're die cutting. So I'm gonna put these right there for now. I'm gonna move my stamp pad out of the way, and I'm gonna bring my Big Shot machine over. Now again, the Big Shot machine at Scrapbooking Made Simple is the machine of choice. So I will start with my darkest color. We'll do it backwards. So I'll start with my darkest color, and then I will do my medium color, and then I will do my lightest color, just using dies. I'm not stamping at all, and I'm going to die cut them. Now again, I have put Stacey tape on the back, and what's that going to do? It's going to make it an instant sticker. So when I'm done die cutting and I want to layer everything on top of each other, I don't have to use any glue. So I can just peel off that liner, that backer, and then it's instantly sticky. I'm gonna send it through. And then I'm not using a precision base plate, but if you have your druthers and you want to do a little rotation, this one I'm sure went through no problem. This one's a little more detailed, so I'm just going to do a little rotation and send them back. I am not using a precision base plate because I am doing the frame die included, and that frame die is not considered intricate at all. And you're asking, what are you talking about? Well, see how this is just an open frame, just a frame die? Whereas this one gets a little bit more intricate. This one you never want to use on a precision base plate because it's an open frame and there's nothing to support in the middle to keep that frame, that die from bowing. Whereas this one, it's not as wide across and it's a little more intricate, so you may want to use a precision base plate. But I think if you go forward, backwards, and you just rotate a little bit, you're going to be fine. These are smaller dies. So I'm going to pop that one right out. I'm going to pop this one right out. And I'm going to pop that one right out. So now I have got my 3 dies all cut out. They look very familiar to the 3 stamps that I used to create this, but they're dies. Oh, and I forgot my little magnetic. Oh, Stacey, this was not the time to forget my little Spellbinders magnetic tool, because they're little dies. Okay, so let's build it. I've got my green, my dark green, and my lighter green. I'm going to peel my sticky off the back. Remember what I said, it's an instant sticker. There it is, ready to go. I can just layer it right on the top. Now I've got 2 layers to my leaf. And I haven't stamped at all. I have just used colored cardstock. Now let's get the sticky off the back of this one. And let's lay it down. Oh, did I pull the wrong one? No, there we go. There's my leaf. Done out of paper. Just out of paper. No stamping at all. None at all. Just out of paper. Because maybe you don't want to stamp. Maybe you're happy with, you just want to do the die cutting to get the dimension. You have options. Lots and lots and lots of options. You can just stamp your leaf and not die cut at all. You can stamp and die cut your leaf, or you can just die cut your leaf and not stamp at all. But that's not all you can do. We gave you a little bit more than that. This time, I think I'm going to grab a new piece of paper. Ooh, and I think I'm going to use it with Stacey tape. Oh, I don't know what I want to do. Okay, we're going to try this. We're going to do this first. And then we might do one more. This time, I'm going to take my stamps and I'm going to stamp them. I don't know if I want to vary the color or if I want it all the same color. I just don't know. I think we're going to just try it all the same color and see what happens. I'm going to stamp up the background, which is a solid stamp. I'm going to stamp up the secondary stamp, which adds your first layer of dimension, and then I'm going to ink up my solid stamp, ink up my secondary stamp, and then ink up my last dimensional stamp. And give it a press. And up. Then I'm going to do my secondary stamp. I'm not going to stamp on top of this one. I'm going to stamp it all by itself. And then last but least, I'm going to do the smallest detail stamp. Why am I not stamping them on top of each other? Because I did it on white paper. And now I'm going to take the dies and I'm going to line the dies up right on top of the stamped images. And I'm going to die cut them out because I can. So now I'm on white paper using ink and still being able to die cut each individual segment out to give more dimension and not so flat. If you want a stamped image, but you don't want it to be as flat as this, but you don't want it to be just paper, well, now you can stamp and die cut and they will line up on top of each other. Let me bring over my Big Shot machine, and again, I am using it on paper that has Stacey tape on the back. That way when I am done with it, it is an instantaneous sticker. Stacey tape can be used for everything. It can be used for paper, it can be used for beads, it can be used for glitter, it can be used for foils, it can be used for just about anything. Now the one thing I'm not going to get into today is embossing. I could use embossing powder and stamp and layer the embossing colors without any problem. I could do my background in a gold, I could do the next one in a copper, and I could do the top one in a black. By having the exact dies that match the stamps for every single layer, you have created so many different options to do depending on you. If you're not a stamper, not a problem. It comes with the stamps. Maybe you should try to be a stamper. You never know, you might just like it. But if you're a straight die cutter, you've got it. If you're a stamper and not so big into die cutting, that's okay. You've got the stamps to do it, but you never know, you may love die cutting. Give it a whirl. If you're sharing these with friends and one of you is a stamper and one of you is a die cutter, well then you guys have got the best of both worlds. So I'm just gonna send that through. Little creaks are okay. Don't be alarmed if your machine makes some little noises. Cracks and creaks are fine. Again, I'm using a magnetic platform with my cut plate. Got my magnetic platform with my cut plate, with my paper, my dies, and then my do not cut plate. And if you were using a multi-purpose platform, that's okay. Just keep your tabs completely closed. That is how you cut wafer dies in a multi-purpose platform. And then my last little guy. Let's get my dies out. I really meant to have my little, I need my little Spellbinder magnetic tool to not lose my dies. Okay, I've got my first one. I'm gonna layer my second one on top. And then I'm going to layer my third one. I'm probably going to want to do it in different colors. I don't know that this is going to come through. So we'll do it again super quick. Yeah, I think it needs to be in the different colors. But I don't know, because I don't know if you'll be able to see the dimension. Maybe. Maybe. But let's do it in different colors. Why? Because we can. Gosh, and do we even want to use... What if we use colored paper and stamp on the colored paper? I don't know. Let's try. What could go wrong, right? It can't. What's the worst that can happen? You don't like it. It's a, you know, I've done worse than that. All I can do is try and see which combinations I like the best. Okay, so now here we go. Here are my stamps. How about we use this one here. So I'm doing the background first. So I've got the background, and you can see it's got just a hair bit of detail in there, not too much. Now let's do the next color, and let's use the slightly lighter, the pistachio memento, and see what happens. So now I've got slightly lighter, almost looks like a watermark. Oh, you could use a Versamark and just use it as a watermark. Oh my gosh, I could think of a million different ways of doing this. That's, oh, okay. And then let's use a light brown. I don't know how the light brown's gonna look on this kind of yellowy paper, but that's okay. All it is paper. It's just paper. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna toss this stuff away and move my Big Shot machine over. And I've got my 3 different pieces. So it doesn't just have to be white paper, you can absolutely use colored paper. I'm gonna line up my dies. I think that's pretty good. This one's a little hard to see because it's almost like a watermark, but I think that's pretty close. All right, well, we're gonna give those a whirl and see what happens. I'm gonna send them on through. And if you want to do a quick rotate, you absolutely can. Quick rotate. Why do we do that? Because the wheels of the machine, the roller under the machine, is now going to hit the die in a brand new way. So if it didn't cut someplace the first time, it will cut it on the second time coming back, because that roller is hitting the die in a new and unique way. Okay, let's see what we got. People really do ask if I've scripted my YouTubes, and no, I really have not. What happens here, happens here. Come on. And let's pop that little guy out. And let's pull this little guy out. I'm gonna put my dies away so I don't accidentally throw them away, which I have done. Several of you caught me and emailed me, look in the trash. Mr. SMS went looking through the trash and found it. Okay, so I have got my stamped image on 3 different colors. And now I can line them up. So I'm getting the best of both worlds. I'm getting to use dimension, and I'm getting to use detail. Detail from the stamp and dimension from the die cut. detail and dimension. Instant sticker. Now I've got detail and dimension. Which do you like better? And you don't have to decide. You can do some of them this way, you can do some of them this way, you can do some of them this way, and layer them on top of each other to make whatever it is that makes you happy. But because you have options, you're not limited as to just stamping and just doing an outline die. You can let yourself get creative because you're only working with paper. And so many of us have scraps of paper. And again, this isn't the only leaf that you get in this set. You get 3 different sizes. You get the large one, which is the one I was working on. You get the medium, and you get the small. All for $10 if you are buying the I Want It All collection, or $13.99 if you opt to buy just the ones you love the most. So it includes all the stamps, it includes all the dies, you get it all. So when I sat down to design these, I didn't realize how prevalent this concept would become, that everybody else was thinking the same thing. But I knew I wanted this option too. I knew I wanted this option. And I wanted it for more than just leaves. So we've done it, obviously, it's called Bloom. So we've done it with flowers too. We've done it with flowers too. And yes, you can just stamp your flowers, but you can also stamp and layer your flowers with paper. We've done several different flowers, and I think I will stamp and do one for you. I think I'm going to use the I'll use the sunflower. So I've got a sunflower set. Each of the flowers that comes in the set not only gives you the big flower, but it gives you a smaller version. So you're going to get not only the sunflower, but you're going to get a smaller sunflower, and this one's actually tilting slightly. So you're going to get 2. So if we do a rose, you're going to get 2 different roses, the larger and the bud of the rose. So we've tried to give you as much as I possibly can. And again, you could just stamp this and just use the stamped image. Let's pull them out. And I think I will use the larger one. Let's start with just the stamped image. I'm going to start with just the stamped image of the larger one. So let's grab a piece of paper. And let's take my block, and I'm going to put my leaf stamps with the rest of my leaves. So let's take our larger image, our background, which is a solid image. It's got just a little bit of detail to it, just a little bit of etching in there, but not too much. And then we will take our second image here, and then our last one here. I'm going to put those over to the side, and I'm going to move my leaves up over to the side. Yeah. I thought I was going to move my leaves up. They don't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now I've got my gush pad. I've got just white paper. I'm just starting with basic white paper. And I'm going to start with my lightest color first. And I think my lightest color is not going to be green. I will use the brown, a light brown, as my lightest color first. And I'm going to ink up my solid image and give it a press. Oh, it's a little close to off the paper. Then I'm going to do my next color, and I think I'll use orange, a little bit darker. And that's going to add the detail, more detail to my sunflower. And on the back of the packaging, you have the image so you can see how to line it up. I will tell you, it takes a little practice to figure it out, how to line it up properly, but once you've got it, you've got it. And luckily with the sunflower and a few of them, it kind of doesn't matter. So there's my next. And then last, let's use the red so you can see a real difference for the center of my sunflower. And there I have stamped it. Again, maybe not the colors you would use, but I wanted to show you a difference. I wanted you to be able to see the difference in the colors. And then, of course, I could take the background or the die that will fit around it, bring over my machine, put my cut plate down first because I'm on my magnetic platform. Got a little close to the side here, but, and then line it up. Okay, let's find the easiest way to line it up. I'm looking for two mountains. Nope, those are not my two. Oh, are these my two mountains? Nope, those are not my two mountains. Two mountains. Nope, though. Well, now this is a circle. It can't be too hard. Okay, let's find a good place to line it up. Those three, 1, 2, 3, that should be right there. Haha! I think. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, I had to find my 3 mountains. I look at it and I pick out a point where I can make reference to and then line it up. But it is just a circle. At some point, I promise it will line up. But pick out a reference point. And I picked out these 3, there's 3 really big petals there. I picked those out as my reference point. And let's send it on through. Pop it out, and there we go. Now I could certainly then start to play with it, and I could probably ink it and add a little more definition to it if I wanted. It's really, really up to you. But that's just the flat version. Remember, we gave you all the dies so that you could do your own. You could make them whatever color you want. You could layer them any way you want. I've got some here that are already, here's another combination of colors. Let me put this over here. Let me move this out of the way. Here's a totally different color combination. Yellow on the bottom, kind of a orangey on the top. It's already been made a sticker. All I have to do is line it up where I want it. Put down my third die cut. And I've gone from flat to a more dimensional. And you could use pop dots. You could absolutely go in there and use pop dots if you wanted to pop the dimension. And then if I wanted to, I could probably come around here and just kind of chalk my edges to give it a little bit more dimension. So now I've chalked my edges to give it even a little bit more dimension. You can play until your little heart's content because you have so many options. I could have just stamped it. I could have stamped and die cut. I could die cut. I could just die cut 3 different colors and lay them right on top of each other. Or I can stamp and die cut, all out of one set of sunflowers. Now, obviously, we've done more than sunflowers. I've got the rose here. I've got the background to the rose. I've got the first cut of the rose. And then I have got the detail to the rose. Those are 3 unique pieces. 3 unique pieces to make one, or I could just stamp on this one all 3 to get it to do the same thing. It just depends. How much dimension do you want? How much detail do you want? It's really up to you. And it's nice to have options. So when you're looking, I think I'm just going to layer these because I'm just going to do it. When you're looking at product like this, think to yourself, how much can I get done? I mean, yes, you could stamp it in a lot of different colors, but if it only comes with one background, one shadow die to cut the whole thing out of, so let's layer this piece on top. And like I said, this is the rose, so this is the large rose, the large piece of the rose. And this little piece lays right in here to finish out the detail. So there's the rose, but we also have, oh, and there's a third piece. We also have, we also give you the bud for it. So you're going to be able to do both. And actually this has a third piece that fits right on top. So there's 3 layers to each one, right on top to give that extra little dimension. Or you just stamp it. It's entirely up to you. Oh, here it is. Here's one completely done. So here. I've got this one completely done. And here's the bud to go with it. All in the same set. Do you want to just stamp it? Do you want to stamp and die cut? Do you want to just die cut? Because you can do that with all the different elements. Every set will allow you to just pick 3 pretty colors, 3 pretty colors of the rose, and just die cut it out of color. You don't have to stamp at all. No stamping required. And then if you want, like I said, you can go back in. Actually, this is the one that has no stamping on it. Go back in if you want to add a little bit of edging around it just to give a little definition to the edges. Absolutely, you can. I love this one. They're beautiful. You can play with color, you can play with definition, you can even play with texture, because if you were to emboss all of this, that gives you a totally different texture and look, because it depends upon what color embossing powder you use for each one. You could use a pigment-based ink and throw clear embossing powder over every level of this and now have a high gloss, shiny finish to the whole thing. Giving you the stamps and the dies gives you the power to create whatever it is that will make your heart happy. So, like I said, this is a lot. There's a lot going on here, and that's not all we've done. Then we did the contour dies. And we've taken white paper and we've put it on Stacey tape, and we have die cut out the contour dies. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and worry about poking all of these little pieces out. In fact, let's cut one. Let's just cut one for you. And I'm gonna grab a piece of white paper. I'm gonna grab a contour die. Hopefully my paper's big enough. So the 2 contour dies you're going to get are those 2. They are not part of the I Want It All bundle. They are a separate purchase. It's $15.99, but it gets you both dies. I'm gonna pull this one. Oh, by the hair of our chinny chin chin. I'm gonna put some Stacey tape on the back of it, although I don't know that this is gonna be wide enough, but that's okay. We will make it work. We will make it work. I'm just gonna cut off those little edges right there because I don't wanna have to worry about trying to glue this thing down once I've cut it. I'm gonna take that out of my way. I've got all of these lovely flowers. I have to tell you, Doris prepped all of the flowers for me because she knew it was going to be so much work for this YouTube. I mean, I've cut a lot and stamped a lot for you, but she wanted me to have a sample besides the storyboard of every single flower, and she prepped all of them for me, and that's just lovely. Usually I don't have that, so I appreciate Doris getting that done for me so I could show you, because you need to see just how fabulous they are. All right, back to the contour die. Now, this is an intricate die. Yeah, it is. I'm still gonna work on my magnetic platform, although it is not recommended by Sizzix. They would like you to use your multi-purpose platform. I'm just gonna use my magnetic because I have it here and I am okay with it. Can you use a precision base plate with your Pro machine or your Plus machine? No, they really prefer you not do that. Okay, I'm gonna line my die up. I've got Stacey tape right on the back. I'm gonna put it down on my precision base plate. Now, if you can read, take this off. If you can read the directions, if you've got it facing this way and your die on top and you can read that it's a precision base plate or you can read the directions, you're doing it backwards. You need that metal to be facing you. You need that metal to be facing you. And again, this is an intricate die. Look at all those little cuts. I'm gonna put it there. I'm going to put my do not cut plate. Well, actually, I don't want to use my good do not cut plate. You want to use your oldest, yuckiest cut plate that you have because it's going to put so much pressure that it's almost going to emboss into that cut plate. So I'm going to send it through. And then, well, it cut. Then I'm going to rotate it and send it back. Just because I want to be sure that it gets everything cut. I sent it through one way and the rollers hit it. Now I've reversed, or I've moved the die. I've rotated it so those rollers can hit the die in a brand new and unique way. And it's just easier to go up and back than to recut and recut and recut. Okay. Now, I'm going to pop that guy out. And now I could easily get all of these little guys out. But let's say not all of them fall out. Don't worry, don't throw it away. It's called a kiss cut, K-I-S-S cut. We don't care if it doesn't cut all the way through the backing of the Stacey tape. It makes no difference. Why? All we care about is did the paper cut. And if the paper cut, we're gonna throw away that liner anyway. So if you don't cut all the way through Stacey tape with your die, still pull the die off, pull the die cut off, separate it from the Stacey tape. Oh, I am just gonna have to get readers. I am. What do they call those things? Cheaters. No, I'm gonna have to get some cheaters. Oh, it would help if I realized that I didn't put the Stacey tape all the way to the edge of the paper. Okay. Come on. Oh, maybe here I can see it better. Oh, yay. Okay, yay, I could see it better there. So pull it off. Doesn't matter if it didn't cut all the way through. If you've got a few little doodads left, just pull them right out. Poke that little guy out. Poke that little guy out. And then let's lay it down. Nope, still got one that I didn't poke out. So if you don't cut all the way through Stacey tape, it's okay. And there's one of the edge dies. Now, the card I showed you earlier, the contour edge dies do not have a cut edge here. So if you take a piece of paper that's bigger than the die, it's going to leave that paper, the extra on the side, to give you that beautiful edge. It does not have a cut edge there. If you want to cut it, so I lined this one right up to the edge of the paper, you absolutely can to make a full die cut, absolutely. But we wanted to leave this one in the paper. We wanted to leave it in this. So this piece and this piece are all the same piece. It's not that we kind of seamed it in the middle there. This is all one piece of blue paper. Just like this is all one piece of pink paper. So the contour edges give you a lot of functionality because you can gatefold, and Michelle, wait till you see Michelle's sample. Michelle made it so that it looks like it is a solid. She actually took the die and put two of them together and then ran a little piece of ribbon down the center, and you'd never know that it wasn't one solid die. Oh, and I've got lots of little bits and pieces over here. So what have we learned today? Oh my goodness gracious. We have learned that Scrapbooking Made Simple, the Simply Defined line, has not only taken where you can take your stamps that come with the dies and layer your colors on them, do your step coloring, and then die cut out the back, but that you're able, so here just stamped and die cut out. Now you could just stamp it, but you're also able to die cut out each individual element, each individual layer of that stamp. So if you don't want to stamp it all, you can just die cut. And if you want to stamp and die cut, you've got that availability too, because we've given you a die for every stamp. If we've got a die in the set, you've got a stamp that coordinates with it. So it's up to you how much layering you want to do. And again, I think that's different than anybody else. I know lots of people right now have the 3 different stamps and then the one die to go with it, but not the 3 different dies and the 3 different stamps. So I'm hoping that we're able to offer you something that's a little more unique, definitely more cost effective, being that you get the stamps and the dies together, and then of course the contour dies. I'm going to show you the storyboards first, and then I'm going to show you the samples, because the girls did magnificent samples as they always do. All right, first and foremost, I have the daisy. So there's the stamped image. There's the stamped image. Those 3 equal here. Then you have the 3 die cut pieces equal here. Then you've got the die cut and the stamped image equals there. And that's for the large and the small. You get both of those. You get all of that in one package for either $13.99 if you buy them individually, or if you buy the I Want It All, this is $10, dies and stamps. So there's the three combinations. There's the three combinations. And then of course we could have just stamped and not die cut at all. So there's daisies, delightful daisies actually. Next we're gonna move to the leaves, which is the one I showed you. So again, 1, 2, 3, there's the stamped image. 1, 2, 3, there's the die cut if you just wanted to die cut. And then you've got the stamp and the die cut. So there are the 4 different combinations you can make of that leaf in those colors, but then you also get that leaf and the small one and all the elements that go with it. And this is loving leaves, because we were loving leaves when I drew this out. They're like, really? 3 leaves? I'm like, yes, of course, you have to have a small, medium, and a large. We've got room on the template, because I'm given a size that I have to fit everything in. And let me tell you, I use every square inch that or every square centimeter that they give me. Next, we've got pretty poppies. Now this one kind of looks like a spider. It's kind of scary, but when you start with your background and then add, and then add, and then add, look at what you get when you're done. And that's just the stamped image. Then we can take just the die cut image, and this one's got 4 of them to equal the die cut image, or we can take the die cut and stamp the dies. So those are your 4 pretty poppies. And then of course, you get the smaller one too. And everything to do the smaller one, all in one set. This is all one set. Then we have the Radiant Rose. Now Lena puts these storyboards together. You can imagine how much time it takes to do these storyboards, and she does a beautiful job. So you can see how she's layered everything and how she's stamped everything and how she's given you all the different ways. And imagine all the different color combinations that you could do. And here I said the rosebud. Is that just yummy? And of course, everything that you need to do the rosebud. All in one set. Then we have Stunning Sunflower, which is the one I was playing with. You've got your stamped images, you've got your die cut images, you've got your die cut and stamped images to give you all the combinations. And remember, each set has 2. So there is the smaller one, which is kind of at an angle, kind of looking at you. So there is the sunflower and everything that comes with it. And then I did just a set of stems because you have to be able to then put your flowers on something. So I did a set of stamps and dies. Again, they coordinate. And again, they all line up, so you can just die cut, you can just stamp, or you can stamp and die cut to put your flowers on something. And of course, you could add more leaves, but you needed a nice stem. And you need a nice stem no matter whether you don't, if nothing else in this collection is calling to you, you still need a nice stem if you have flower dies at home. You need something to put those flowers actually on. So I made it separate. That way, if you don't have it and you need it, you can get just this set. And then we've got some little sentiments. I love this one. It's Dwell in Possibility. I love Dwell in Possibility. That's one of my favorites. But we've got some very inspiring little sentiments to go with it. And it just completes the flowers. And then we have the contour. So the 2, here's the first one. Here it is as a gatefold. Here it is this way. And then the second again as a gatefold. Single die, gatefold, or as a flap card. Could even make your own your envelope it's just fabulous. So this is sold separate. It is not part of the I Want It All collection, and yes, they are limited. Now I want to show you samples because the samples are pretty rock star. I am going to start with Elena because not only did she do storyboards, but she put together the screen. And all of the stamped images are just that. They're the flowers only used just as stamped images, and then she used the contour die as part of the screen. And this is, she's gonna kill me. This is Elena, and that's how it stands. And there it is. How pretty is that? And then I also have Elena. And this is Elena. Now all she's done down here is stamped. This is on my bedazzled paper. So all she did was stamp that, but she's used the contour dies on the edge, up top, well, up top, down below. And we don't know who those people are. She cut them out of a picture that she got at the swap meet. So if those are your relatives, let us know. We've been teasing her about that the whole time. What if somebody knows them? It kind of looks like everybody's mom and dad, doesn't it? Because my parents have that exact same wedding picture. But if those are actually your relatives, gosh, that would sure be funny. And then I'll send you the card because we have a very nice picture of them. But this is Elena using the contour die and then just stamping. That's all she did, is just stamp with the balloon collection. So there's Elena. Now I have Michelle. And remember I told you Michelle took that contour die and she doubled it. She did it top and bottom, threw a piece of ribbon down the center, added the beautiful little, these are the daisies, and put Dwell in Possibility. This is Michelle. And she made that contour die become a background die, just by adding a little bit of ribbon to hide the seam underneath. That takes that contour die to a whole nother level. Now you've got a background die included in it. That is Michelle. And then this is Michelle, which is just so pretty. Look at that rose. Just so pretty. And she embossed the sentiment with embossing powder. And she's used a embossing folder up here. This is Michelle. Okay, now we're gonna go to Sharon. And look at what Sharon put together. Just lovely, isn't it? Love the colors. This is Sharon. And then everybody used the same embossing folder. That's so funny. I wonder if it's the one that went around. And then here she's put together another card using the daisies. And here she has stamped on white paper. She has die cut. She has popped it up so that you get the definition and the detail. Absolutely, as opposed to just using a flat die and stamping on it, she stamped each individual layered piece and then die cut each individual layered piece and then popped them up using little pop dots so you get that dimension that you can't get any other way. That is Sharon. She did a beautiful job. She was so nervous. She was so worried that these weren't good enough. And I'm like, oh, Sharon, they're phenomenal. Then we have Yvette. And Yvette took the contour edge, cut it out so it's its own die, backed it with glimmer sheets. My glimmer sheets, look at how fabulous is that. That's a glimmer sheet. And then added our flowers. And she did the same thing. She used pop dots and dimensional to give it even more, to boost it up even more. So this is Yvette. Then we have Kathy. Let's grab Kathy's and move Kathy's a little bit closer. So Kathy has become the queen of wedding because this is just beautiful. There's the contour die used as a gatefold on glitter paper. What a beautiful anniversary card or wedding invitation. So, so pretty. This is Kathy. All she did was put the little bit of ribbon right through and tie it up to make a gatefold. This is Kathy. Kathy also has done this card, again using the contour die. Isn't that lovely? Just using the contour die with a very simple hello, a couple little flowers. Easy card to make, but so pretty and absolutely makes a statement. Looks like you spent hours on it. This is Kathy. And then Kathy did one of the prettiest layouts I think I've seen. She does beautiful layouts. Kathy really excels at scrapbooking. Everybody has their thing that they do. Belinda's, awesome at the mixed media. Claire's great at watercoloring. Doris just does pretty. Kathy does the most lovely layouts. Look at that. And she did my roses using my reflection paper and regular cardstock. She's got the contour die at the top. She doesn't fill the page, but each picture is treated with respect. She put two of the contour dies together to make them matte. It's just beautiful. I love how she did my flowers. I do. I love it, Kathy. It's gorgeous. You are so incredibly talented, and I wish I could do what you do. I love my, she really made them look good. So that's Kathy. Then I'm gonna reach for Claire. And again, Claire is our watercoloring queen. Here is her poppies. And of course the poppies are the Simply Defined dies. They're the pretty poppies. And look at the detail she was able to get on them. So this is Claire. And then I showed this one on Facebook. This is just stamping. That's all she did was stamp. There's no die cutting at all in this one. It is just stamped. It's on my bedazzled white paper. You can see the shimmer. She matted it a couple times, but that's just stamped, and that's Claire. Then she die cut and inked and and look at the sunflowers. Look at what she did. Look at the sunflowers. This is Claire. How happy is that card? That's Claire. And then she did my roses. And again, she's just stamped. No die cutting at all in this one. The sunflowers she die cut, the poppies she stamped, the roses she just stamped. Why? Come on, say it with me. You have options. And last but not least is her mixed media piece. Oh, yes. Okay, put it the right way, Stacey. Where you've got the gate being used, the contour is the gate, and here she has done the daisies. And this is Claire's mixed media piece. Next we have Belinda. Are you all ready for this one? Okay, we have Belinda. This just screams Belinda. Yes, these are my flowers. Those are the exact same flowers I've been showing you all day long. Those are my flowers. She just really crinkled them and added some metallic to them. You've got the contour on the top and the bottom, and she's always got her little cat. Oh my gosh, Belinda's a riot. This is Belinda's mixed media piece. Then she did a Disney piece because this is SMS Girl Kayla and this is SMS Girl Marina, and they went to Disneyland, and Belinda did this for them. Again, those are my flowers. Those are the flowers I've been showing you all day long. She just took them and did something completely different with them. She's got them wet, and she's moved them up, and she's painted them with metallic. You've got the contour die over here. But that's SMS Girl Kayla and that's SMS Girl Marina. And they went to Disneyland. So Belinda did this for them. And last but not least, this is also Belinda, and this is so pretty. This is Belinda's layout. She typically doesn't do layouts, but it came out so beautiful. So beautiful. Again, you've got the contour die there and the contour die here. You've got the flowers that she has, all of her flowers are dimensional and popped. And she just did a lovely, lovely layout. And it says, "You make me smile" down below with a Kaiser Craft die. So that is Belinda. Last but not least is Doris. I showed this one on Facebook. This is Doris. She has just die cut. All she did was die cut the sunflower. She did stamp the center, so she had the center. But she chalked around the edges to give just a little bit of definition. And then this is the set that has the stems. I called it Sprout. This is Doris. And then our next from Doris is here. Again, she inked, she die cut, she inked, she popped, she layered. Did she put anything in the middle or in the center? No, I always have to look with Doris because you never know. But this is Doris. So pretty. So she's here. All she did was die cut the 3 different layers of the leaves to put them together. No stamping there at all. She just die cut them to put them together. This is also Doris. And this one I do have to open because she created the paper herself. Those are my stamps. Those are my stamps to create the paper. Beautiful, isn't it? It's like you bought a beautiful piece of vintage paper, but she didn't. She started with white paper and made it herself just by stamping. That's all she did was stamp. And then she used the contour die. She used the rose. She used it on colored paper. She used the sprout die, and it says dwell in possibility. Because if you're going to dwell in something, you should dwell in possibility. Anything's possible. It really is. So this is Doris. And then the last one from Doris is her poppies. It is a gatefold. You've got the contour die on both sides. Open it. And happy birthday. This is Doris. I feel like I need to retie it. But it's beautiful. So, remember we have the I Want It All collection, which is right here. You get each of the dies, the daisy, the leaves, the poppy, the rose, the stems with and the sunflower. You get full color pictures on the back as to how to put them together. It will take a little bit of practice, trust me. It will take a little bit of practice for you. The whole set, if you buy the I Want It All, and it does have to be in the I Want It All set. There is a set that says I Want It All, is $60. Otherwise, they're $13.99 each if you like them individually. If you just love the rose and just want the rose, not a problem, $13.99. But that's the stamp and the die for the large rose and the rose bud. So, and then the contour dies, which I opened. Contour die is sold separately. Sold all on its own for $15.99. It is not included in the I Want It All. And yes, quantities of all of them are limited. I just can't afford. I really can't. We're a small company. We have another release coming out. So as much as I would love to be able to go back and reorder, because my reorders are high, I have to reorder a high amount. I just can't go back to afford it. So I try to bring in as many as I think we're gonna need. And sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. So I really do try to do my best. All right, so that's it for me. This was YouTube Saturday with Stacey, YouTube number 160. This is the Simply Defined release called Bloom. And where are you gonna get all these great products? Well, the only place you're gonna find Simply Defined and Simply Refined product, which are mine, is at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I hope you get what I was trying to do. I hope you get the thought process, because I wanted this so badly, not knowing if everybody was going to understand, or if you all think I'm absolutely crazy. I think Mr. SMS thinks I'm a little crazy sometimes when I say I have to have it this way, and he's like, but no, really, I need to have it this way, and to have all the stamps have matching dies so that you can layer if you want to. I had to have it that way. So I hope you get it. Anyway, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Don't forget to post your comment. Anything kind works for me. And don't forget to go to chicken dinner at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. You're gonna submit your entry for our chicken dinner contest for the shop that did not hop. And all you have to do is send us a picture of a card or a quilt or a layout or a mixed media piece that used either a Sizzix die or a Simply Defined die. We will post them on Pinterest. It is not a popularity contest. It's about sharing your creativity, whether you're a newbie or a seasoned veteran. It's about sharing what it is you love to do. And we will pick 5 lucky winners right before the shop that did not hop, to win a gift card to spend during the event. All right, you guys, it's me, Stacey, Scrapbooking Made Simple. I'll see you next week. Bye.